Okay. What's up, absolutely zero people? Probably judging from the title if you clicked on this, which I'm doubting anyone did, but it's possible. The verdict for the George Floyd case just came out. Not good. And I know a lot of people are going to be thrilled. There he is. There's the guy with his Blue Lives Matter flag flying around. Yeah, it's not good. Mostly because the jury, number one, they pussied out, and at the same time, I think they had to make a really difficult decision. Because if you think about it, the jury, I can't imagine what was going through their head, but we convict him, no riot, but we basically condemn an innocent man. Well, not, see, that's the other thing. Is he innocent? No. Is he guilty of this crime? No. And on the other hand, we watch our cities and our people burn. We lose businesses, we lose money. But now here's the problem. Here's the problem. And the idiot judge said it today, because he's an idiot, and he's apparently super left-wing, and he was one of Amy Klobuchar's people, so already you know where he stands. He said, this is going to make a problem for appeal with what Maxine Waters said about rioting, and we're going to riot unless they convict, which it probably really played a major role in the conviction of this guy. It did. I mean, who in their right mind would say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to let my city burn. I'm going to let more black people die. Sure, why not? Because that's who's out there. That's who's going to get, something's going to happen. Now, the problem is, at sentencing, is the judge going to be lenient or not? Because if he is, riot. If he's too harsh, I think every cop in the world will quit, or at least in America. Because that's the other problem. Let's just pretend you are a cop in Arizona. It's a random place, right? No. Cop in Arizona. You pull over a black guy, he's high on drugs, and he overdoses on the floor. In the backseat of the car, you did everything right. Well, he died in police care. This case sets precedent. And that's going to be the problem. Well, yeah, you can argue, oh, well, he had his knee on his neck. Well, if you watched the trial and you paid any attention to science class or biology class, you would know that having a knee on your back for any extended period of time really doesn't matter. And then if you watched the trial, you would know that half of the prosecution was lies. And then the defense basically proved there wasn't lies, that they were lies. Like when the police chief came out and said, we don't train knee on the neck. Well, yeah, no, they don't. That's why his knee was on the back. And then you pull out the training manual. Fuck you. Pull out the training manual, and there it is. It's sitting right there. You can pull it up. It's right online. Now, the problem is, another problem is, how are you going to prove the guy's dead? The guy in the back of your cop car is dead. Oh, well, he overdosed. Okay, well, what's the body cam footage? And then the body cam footage shows you restraining him in a certain way. That causes death. Well, no, he overdosed. Yeah, but the coroner says it's a homicide. Okay. But that's not a murder. Yeah, but it says homicide. So, homicide... No, murder and homicide are two different things. So you're gonna have now every cop in the fucking country is going to have to basically tiptoe around minorities for the most part, because nobody cares if they killed a white guy, and that's 100% true. And you can say it in the comment section that I'm totally wrong, but it's 100% true. And I hate to break it to you, pull your head out of the CNN and watch something other than CNN, and you will say, huh. You can't watch mainstream media. It's like whenever you hear people say, oh, well, they're racist Republicans, and then the Republicans be like, well, you can't listen to mainstream media, and they're like, fuck you, you're a Republican. Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon told me you're just a racist. Well, that's the problem, is these people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're paid millions of dollars, millions, sitting in their, Upper East Side, Hamptons, loft, mansion, whatever you want to call it, making millions of dollars. They're not on the streets with the poor people. They're not on the streets selling sunglasses, or art. But now you're going to see every cop in America basically has one hand tied behind their back. And you're going to see a lot of people quit. You're going to see a lot of people not care. You're going to see a lot of cops have to go to trial, get arrested and go to trial for things that they're not going to do, and then you're going to see crime go up, cops go down, crime go up. And then you have people like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar saying, and Maxine Waters, we need to abolish the cops. We need to get rid of all cops. Okay, get rid of all the cops. I shoot you. Now what? You shoot me. Now what? There's no consequences. That's the whole point. There's consequences for your actions. The police are there so that you can't just go around killing everyone you don't agree with. Now, it's gonna happen gradually. Now, okay, so now with sentencing, the judge is probably gonna sentence him more harshly. I'm of the belief, just because of who he is and who he worked for and how he handled the case and everything like that, I think they're gonna give him whatever the maximum is possible. He's convicted on all charges, so he's probably, not through actual not being sentenced to life, but they're going to sentence him with a year total. That will be more than the human lifespan. He's going to appeal. The appellate court's going to probably kick it back down and say, yeah, no, his appeal is good. And then they're going to riot. That's going to be the problem. He's going to appeal. The appeal's going to go through. They're going to riot. He's going to get a new trial. Hopefully they do a change of venue, because, if they can't get the change of venue, then there's no point. But you're probably not going to hear about it again. After sentencing, he's going to appeal. You won't hear about it again, because there's going to be some other trial. Some other big trial. Because if you watched the trial, at one point the prosecution says he knew him, and then another 20 minutes later he said he didn't know who he was, and then another time he knows he went specifically for him. So it's like, come on. And then the body cam footage, he says he put a gun right in his face. You see the body cam footage, he taps on the glass with his fucking nightstick or flashlight. Here you go. Oh no, he turned around and there was a gun pointing in his face. No, it's not what happened. And then the jury, because all you hear, unfortunately, unless you watch Fox News, which I'm sure no one does, because everyone from MSNBC CNN and ABC, CBC, whatever you want to call them, BBC, say Fox News is a bunch of crazy lunatics. Crazy, God-fearing lunatics. And that's the problem. Nobody wants to see both sides. That's the crazy lunatic redneck hillbilly with a gun, and over here we're all the right people. We're the smart people. And then people are like, oh yeah, I'm the smart one. I'm watching the CNN and they're telling me how smart and brilliant I am. And those crazy people over there with guns. No. Nobody believes that George Floyd deserved to die. But when you have people, coroners, coming out saying this guy would have died on his own in 2 hours if we found him in his apartment 2 hours later. Literally, if that kid didn't call the cops, he would have died in his apartment. This wouldn't have happened. And if you think about it, how messed up it is, they had that kid come up on the stand, and he goes, I feel responsible for this. And I guarantee you, he goes to that job like, you're the one that did, like, you did this. He thinks, he feels responsible. He feels guilty for the fact that the guy died, and that all these riots took place, and more people died. This kid, what's he, like 19 years old? I think they said he was. And he's got the weight of that on his shoulders at 19. And all he wanted was to save himself $20 in his paycheck, because his store policy was that if he took the counterfeit 20, he would have to pay for it. So you're telling me that this guy is a hero because he was killed by basically himself, because he swallowed all those pills, because he was trying to get rid of the evidence, and that's probably what killed him? Come on. And then you go on social media and all the comments are like, thank God he's convicted. George, you're a saint. May you rest in honor. Shut the fuck up with that. I'm sorry. That's stupid. That person, I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, was not a good guy. And here I go, I'm going to get censored from YouTube again, because they already don't play my videos. I don't care. He was not a good guy. Did he deserve to die? No. But this was not someone who deserves to rest in honor. He killed himself by ingesting all those pills, resisting the cops. His friends are on the dash cam, the body cam, saying, what are you doing? Just sit down. And they're like, just let him, they said, let him arrest you. And what does he do? He fights off. He's screaming he can't breathe the second he taps on the window. That's why he draws his gun. He taps on the window. Floyd's screaming he can't breathe. I'm assuming he went to go get the pills, or throw the pills under the car. He said, let me see your hands, and he goes like this. He's lucky he didn't get shot immediately. Like I said in previous videos, I was a 911 dispatcher, not for very long. I've heard over the phone, I've seen, I was trained to see enough videos, enough dash cam footage, enough body cam footage, I've listened to enough calls where they don't even give you the time. I've seen cops get shot, obviously on video, where guy pulls up and when you're right there, you can't really miss. So now you're gonna tie the hands of every cop in the country, because they're gonna be afraid that they're now gonna get put in jail for defending themselves. You need to understand, and the people who clicked on this video, if anyone clicked on this video, they know this. Or they want to tell me how stupid I am and how racist I am. When a majority of my town's police officers were black. Yeah. They have families too. They have people they want to go home to too. You don't want to go to jail? They just want to go home. You got to remember that cop that's pulling you over, he was the high school quarterback. He was the guy you went and cheered on at every game on Friday night. There's the point guard. He's the corrections officer now. There goes the head cheerleader. She's over there. She got a job as a cop. That guy over there, he went and fought in Afghanistan, came back and wanted to serve his town. He wrote you a ticket. He wants to go home. You don't want to go to jail? Cooperate. Don't break the law. But you got people on here saying all pigs deserve to die. Fuck the police. That's the guy that took you to prom. You don't like him anymore because, he probably broke up with you because you were a bitch. You're telling me he deserves to die because he wrote you a ticket? Come on. The second anything happens, tell people you're going to call the police. And the second anything happens that you don't like, fuck the police. Give you a ticket. You put your hands 10 and 2. The amount of tickets I've gotten out of, I fly. I go 95 down the road. The amount of tickets I've gotten out of because I put my hands 10 and 2, I turn the lights on and I say, I'm sorry, officer. The amount of black friends I have that get out of tickets because they say, I'm sorry, officer, hands at 10 and 2, turn the lights on. My papers are in the glove compartment. Yeah, sure, no problem. Like I said, majority of the cops in my town were black. Not many Hispanic, a few white. So what are you going to say? All cops are bad. All cops are racist. Okay, well, these are all black cops. These are all black cops. The only guy who gave me the time of day at my department when I was working there was a black detective. He was the only one who treated me with respect and dignity. There are two other guys, but they weren't as vocal about it as he was. He was fighting for me. He was saying I was a good guy. He was telling everybody that, I needed to be, that I needed, some extra help and that I was doing a good job. He was the only one. So don't come and tell me that all cops are racist when you got me, white as hell. I was even whiter because I wasn't out in the sun all day. That all cops are racist. Because I'll tell you, they're not. They don't go... That's the other thing. You got people saying, oh, well, cops only want to be cops so that they can shoot minorities. What? No. The whole point of being a cop is to protect your town because you love your town or your state if you're a state trooper. Not to go and say, oh, there's a black guy, let me go shoot him tomorrow. There's no... that. Where do you get this from? You get it from Don Lemon on CNN, you get it from Chris Cuomo on CNN, who will sing the songs from, like the Jeffersons and say, I'm a little bit black. What? No, you're not. I'm sorry. He'll play basketball and he'll dunk on people, he'll yell the N-word. That's fine. He's Chris Cuomo, he's on the left. And then he'll go out and say, the cops need to do more. Defund them. And then when you defund them, how come the cops aren't helping people? Well, you just took all their money away. Half of them quit because you're going to arrest them. You took the immunity away from them in New York. Imagine you're a cop in New York. You know how hard it is to become a cop in New York? Everybody in the state takes one test. And that's how they pick. So those guys are the best of the best. They don't pick me, who got, like a C on the major test. They don't pick that guy. You get the... just because you know somebody. You don't just get in. You have to have a good score, too. And you got to know somebody. Those guys... all protection was taken from them. So now, if you live in New York and you're a cop, and you arrest a kid robbing a store, you pull him over, he's high on drugs, He dies in the back seat of your car. His family can now sue you for everything. He's going to sue the town. He's going to sue you. He's going to sue your precinct. Probably sue the state. Now you're destitute. Or in prison. Taxes go up. I don't think that's another thing you people don't friggin' understand. You convict somebody, they win. They now sue. Even if they lose, they sue. Your taxes are going up because they're losing millions of dollars. You're losing if somebody dies, you're losing millions of dollars. Your taxes are going up, bud. Sorry. This whole thing is a joke. People don't understand what... Yes, that racist murderer cop. That's all you hear. Racist murderer cop. No, he just wanted the kid to get his $20 back. And he'll probably get sentenced. Like I said, he'll be sentenced to a time longer than, humanly possible. But when he appeals, and then he wins his appeal, and then he gets retried, and even if they do convict him again, because it's not national media attention, he'll get, probably, some form of leniency, and you're not going to hear about it. It won't be a national news story. Because at that time, you got to figure our court system too. It's going to be like 4 or 5 years down the road. Like, this guy's going to be in jail 4 or 5 years before he finally gets his appeal over with. And then it's going to be like, yep, nope, I win. Because you got to also figure, there are lawyers watching this who want to make a name for themselves. This was basically the new OJ. That's what a lot of people are saying. This is the new OJ, but in reverse. People are going to want to make a name for themselves. People are going to want to make a documentary about this. People are going to want to make a documentary about him getting back out. They're not... This is not even close to being over. And you're only getting harm from it. And you're going to see, like I said, you're going to see a decrease in police. You're going to see a decrease in police doing anything. And it's not going to be good for the country. And then you're going to have these Congress people. Honestly, I do blame Republicans for all of this. For as much as Democrats are, not doing or stoking the flame, Republicans are not doing anything to put out the fire. What's his name? Kevin McCarthy. He finally said, we want to censure Maxine Waters. That's like when you take your hand, you run it over the sink, and you kind of like spritz the water out. That's all that's doing. I mean, there was one police reform bill. Democrats shot it down, but there was one. What are Republicans doing? They had the power for 2 years, and they did nothing. So this is as much on Republicans as it is on Democrats, unfortunately. Everyone's stupid. It's not going to be good. I don't know. It's just a rant of a fat loser. George Floyd wasn't a hero. I can tell you that right now. If you looked up any information about him prior to this arrest and this incident, you would know he does not deserve to rest in honor. He will be burning in hell if you believe in those type of things. And he probably is, if he's not already. So, yeah. If you agree with me, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you don't, hit the button anyway, because that's how I get monetization from YouTube. So, yeah.